from the Brisbane Broncos, playing these days at Castleford, who gets the kick underway on a lovely still night here at Weldon Road in Castleford. And the Kiwis with 5 new players in their side tonight. And some of them have got plenty to prove as Brendan Tutor takes it up. The captain for the night is Wayne Wallace. And already a penalty goes against Castleford. An infringement there at the play the ball. And so the Kiwis have the first penalty. They were penalised a lot themselves in the opening match last Sunday at St Helens. Here's Phil Bancroft. Castleford really backing or missing their big prop forward Kevin Ward. But they look to have some pretty able substitutes in there. Here's French, another kick coming up. Angling it away from the Kiwis. Edwards now taking it out just 10 metres from his own line. Got away from one nicely. Good run from Morven Edwards. Didn't make a lot of ground, but got out of 2 or 3 tackles. Tiber goes in at dummy half. Once again, it's Kurt Sherlock, the centre, taking it up. Here's Bancroft. Here's a chance for the Kiwis. Here's Kevin Iro. Iro still going, and a good tackle put on him by French. But that's the first opportunity, really, the Kiwis have had as Clark takes it out to Ropati. Now Bancroft. Now they're lined out here. Wallace to Kawiti. Mike Kawiti. And the whistle has gone. And an infringement with Brendan Tutor being penalised. Running some sort of interference, I think, was the ruling from Robin Whitfield. Once again, Beardmore goes in at dummy half. Cross to French. Bit high from Brent Todd, but the referee said no, it wasn't high enough to penalise. Here's Joyner. Oh, that might have been a bit tough. Brendan Tutor tackling high and getting penalised for it. This kick from a handy position. And St John Ellis puts Castleford in the lead after 13 minutes by 2 points to 0. Castleford in a good attacking position here. Here's Joyner again. Charging in was Sean Irwin. Just 10 metres short of the line now. Kiwis' defence just looking a little flimsy there as Dean Sampson makes a few metres. Castleford want it to go left. The kick through by French, and here's a chance, French. Gary French got the try. Kiwis perhaps a little unlucky. The ball bouncing off a few feet. And the little Australian got through to score the try. Let's have another look at it. As French put the little kick through, and as you can see, it deflected off a few feet there, and French got a lucky bounce, and all he had to do was collapse on the ball, and that's the first try. Castleford lead by 6-0. Here's Ellis from a handy position. No problems. And the Kiwis now have a bit of work to do. They're 8 points to 0 behind. 18 minutes gone in the first half. The Kiwis behind by 8 points to 0. Great start by Castleford. They've looked the more dangerous of the two sides. Been released Tony Smith, number 6. Here's a good run coming from Sean Irwin. Ellis across to French. Dean Sampson with the run on this occasion. Just 20 metres short again of the Kiwi line. French. Ketteridge looking to offload, but this time the Kiwi defence is good. Here's Beardmore. Up to Joyner. Oh, that's a good pass to Clark. They won't stop him. Andy Clark between the posts. Well, the Kiwis caught napping there. Lovely little run, and look at the pass to Andy Clark, who really deserves this try. He's been quite outstanding, and it wasn't too much of a problem. The wrong foot to Morven Edwards, and away he went, and the big fella's got him between the posts. Ellis adds the extra 2. And the Kiwis in real strife here, 14 points to 0 behind. Now Morven Edwards goes in at dummy half, and maybe this is a chance for the Kiwis, and offside against Castleford. And so finally the Kiwis come down into an attacking position. Fair bit of noise for Phil Bancroft to put up with, but he slots it through nicely, so the Kiwis are finally on the board after 26 minutes, and it's 14 points to 2. Wallace up to Todd, charging hard, Brent Todd, just 17 or 18 metres short of the line now, up to Leota, now Bancroft, across to Clark, looked a bit high, but referee says carry on. Here's Bancroft again, here's Tuta, good charge from Kawiti, Mike Kawiti pulled down just 12 metres short of the line, better play now from the Kiwis, Tuta goes in, pass is pretty rough pass, Kurt Sherlock held it well. Crowd didn't like it, but I don't think he did knock it on. Here's Bancroft again. Now Clark. Bancroft doubling round. Here's Kevin Ero. This must be a try. And Kevin Ero goes in. The Kiwis have been pushing hard in the last 3 or 4 minutes. And Ero scores between the posts. Well, that was an excellent build-up by the Kiwis. Good half break by Mike Kawiti. Then Brendan Tuta did well. And finally the ball came across. And Kevin Ero coming back on the angle. Goes in between the posts. Bancroft converts the try scored by Ero, and so the Kiwis coming back into it now. It's 14 points to 8, half an hour gone. Up to Gibson. And the Kiwis really swarming onto their men now. 14 points to 8. Ketteridge, oh, he looked as though he was going to kick it. He fooled the Kiwis. Here's Beardmore. Here's another chance. And what a good try, Paul Crabtree. The Kiwis were sucked in rather badly by Martin Ketteridge, who looked as though he was going to kick, changed his mind, and managed to slip through the gap. Gary French was involved again. And the big second rower, Paul Crabtree, sprinting like a back, has gone in beside the post. Ellis converts again. Kiwis have won the scrum ball. Good run out by Edwards, and that's half time. And the Kiwis at the break have a lot of thinking to do, because they'll go into the second half down by 20 points to 8. Castleford leading by 20 points to 8. This is St John Ellis, the man who's kicked the goals for Castleford. Good run from him. Beardmore finding Dean Sampson. These are the men that cause trouble for the Kiwis, the big forwards, especially Andy Clark, number 8. Here's Ketteridge. Edwards read it well, finding Taiwa. 5 metres on his own side of halfway, Edwards. Plays it up to Kurt Sherlock. Got it away nicely to Ropati. Here's Freeman. Chance for Kevin Ero. 5 metres on the Castleford side of halfway. Kiwis really need to start the second half strongly here. They've got a lot of catching up to do as Brent Todd charges up. Wallace looking for Leota, offside against Castleford. 2 minutes gone in the second half, and Phil Bancroft has kicked the goal, and that's a good start for the second half. It's now 20 points to 10. French, and it's been lost, and the Kiwis have a chance here. Here's Brendan Tuta. Needs to find support in field, wasn't able to do it. Freeman to Sherlock. Leota, he's had a good game. Now Wallace, Todd. Good solid run by Brett Todd. Couldn't offload though. Now Wallace. Freeman. Goes one way then the other. Now Nikau. Good run here from Nikau. Chance for the Kiwis. Here's Freeman. Gary Freeman. And he'll go all the way. No, he won't. Couldn't get it back in field with players inside him. He must have thought he could have made it to the corner, but not quite. Front feed by French. Dr. Smith. Here's Irwin. Kawiti took a nasty blow there. You can see Mike Kawiti took a blow to the head. As Ellis goes away. Here's Ketteridge. Oh, lovely pass. Smith. Kiwis in trouble again, just 10 metres short of the line. Here's Clark running hard. Taken out by Beardmore. Oh, bad tackle. Ketteridge almost made it. Well, the Kiwis almost allowed Ketteridge through with a high tackle, but he lost the ball. Taken out by Row Party. Here's Kevin Ero. What a good run from Kevin Ero right towards halfway. Now the Kiwis have to make something of this. They're a bit slow to get up. Here they come. Francis Leota runs onto it. Todd has a run. Now they're 10 metres inside Castleford territory. Here's Bancroft across to Freeman. Tuta. Couldn't release it though. Leota runs it up. Plays it quickly. Wallace. Here's Todd. Good support from Row Party. Here's Kevin Ero. He'll take on the fullback. And French was there as well. Kevin Ero always looks dangerous. The Kiwis are 20 metres short of the line. Here's Freeman. Up to Bancroft. Back to Freeman. Gary Freeman looking for his support. It's not there. Plays it quickly. Bit sloppy, the Kiwis. No one seems to know who's at dummy half. Kevin Ero really had no one to pass to. Nikau across to Bancroft. Here's Wallace. Looking for Leota. Still standing Leota. Way across to Nikau again. Nikau still going. Can he get the pass? He can't. And it's picked up by Beardmore. And he's across the touchline. Kiwis have a show here. Attacking scrum. Here's Bancroft. Across to Kevin Ero. Oh, that's a loose pass. Bancroft struggling to get it. The Kiwis have got it back though. Pass from Tuta across to Taiwa. Standing nicely in the tackle. Got it back to Kawiti. He got it back to Freeman. They've kept this one alive. Here's Sherlock. Looks back in field for a Row Party. That's better stuff from the Kiwis. They kept the ball alive. Here's Freeman again. Back to Todd. Got 7 or 8 metres short of the line. Tuta. Here's Bancroft. Across to Wallace. Into the gap goes Nikau. Wallace. Across to Freeman. Here's Bancroft. Phil Bancroft. Good run here from Phil Bancroft. Got support from Kevin Ero. Wasn't quite sure which way to pass it. Decided to hang on, which was a pretty wise move. 15 metres in Castleford territory. Taken out by Freeman to Wallace. Kawiti in the gap. And what a good pass to Row Party. Row Party still going as he got support. He can't get it back in field. It's loose. Freeman up to Wallace. And Wayne Wallace. Yes, I think so. Yes. Wayne Wallace finally struggled his way across. The Kiwis really struggled there to finally get it across, but that's a significant try with about 20 minutes to go. Lovely run by Kevin Ero. Then Wayne Wallace was involved the initial pass. Mike Kiwis slipped a lovely pass across to Ropati. Then Wallace was back in the action. It was this way and that before he finally was able to get it across in the corner. Bill Bancroft from a long way out. Oh, that's a marvellous kick. And the Kiwis right back in it now. 20 points to 16. Here's Kawiti. Hands it up to Taiwa. Wallace, the man who scored the last try, back to Gary Freeman, who's made a big difference since he came on the field. That's a good little run by Freeman. He's really started to run things now, Gary Freeman. Here's Brent Todd, who seems to get stronger as the game goes on. Freeman calling for the runners, and offside against Castleford. Bill Bancroft goal kicking has been excellent tonight. Here he goes again. And that's another one. And it's now 20 points to 18. Here's Wallace. Here's Kawiti. Mike Kawiti running into the gaps. And unfortunately, his supporting players got ahead of him. Here's Freeman. Little Gary Freeman puts the kick ahead. Ellis confronted by Taiwa. And good chasing by Gary Freeman. And I think Ellis is hurt. They're going to have to play it quickly. They do. Clark plays it for Beardmore. Good run by Sampson. Oh, this is a good break from Smith. Tony Smith. What a tackle, though, from Tia Ropati. But Castleford just proving that they're not dead yet. They still lead by 20 points to 18. Here's Ketteridge. What a pace for a big man. 5 metres out from the corner on the last tackle. Now the Kiwis will have to watch the kick from French. Here it is. Taken by Ropati, but offside against Castleford. So now Wallace. Kiwis going to spin it wide. James Goulding. Struggling his way out of a few tackles. Castleford crowd now getting pretty excited. They can sense a pretty historic victory, but Kawiti's into the gap. Mike Kawiti. Good support from Kurt Sherlock. Kurt Sherlock, the straight sprint. Can he get there? Yes, he can. What a good try. And the Kiwis, for the first time in the game, are in front. And it came from an excellent run by Mike Kawiti in his debut game for New Zealand. He made the big burst. And then it was Kurt Sherlock who had the straight sprint of about 40 metres. And away he went. And what an excellent try. Nikau in at dummy half. Quite happy to take the tackles here and wait for the final tackle when they can do the kick. Wallace it is who kicks it away downfield. Ellis, the man who's kicked the goals for Castleford tonight. The Kiwis will make their tackles here, I'm sure. They do. Freeman and Francis Leota, and the Kiwis punch the air in delight. They've come from nowhere, really. They've got out of jail to win this game by 22 points to 20 in an exciting second half performance. They were down by 20 to 8 at half time, and they scored all the second half points to win the game here at Castleford tonight by 22 points to 20.